Okay, so we're going to just start looking at how to do the Python program today. As you can see, I've called it Python math program, and I've declared two variables. Number one, I've got the int, so int, and then you've got the double bracket, the input, and please enter a number. And you've got number two equals int, and input again, please enter a second number. The reason, and I'll just put that over here as well, is the reason why we use int is to convert string into a number, into a base 10 number. And initially it's a string value, so string values don't have a numerical value, but they need to be converted so that Python can understand it. So essentially that's what's happened. Now I could have just used a sum here. It says sum of two numbers, and if I just change that and write down sum, you can see instantly it becomes purple, which is an inbuilt function within Python. We don't really want that, so what we'll do is we'll just call it a sum of two numbers. Okay, so sum of two numbers. Okay, you could do sum of two nums if that's easier, and I'll just do like that, number one plus number two. Okay, and then I can do print sum of two numbers. Okay, so now that's the initial program, but if I was to run it, so I'll just call it run Python module. Okay, so R5, click on OK, call it add two numbers. Okay, click on save. Okay, and you can see that it asked me to input a number, so I'm going to type in 12, type in the second number, 34 for example. Okay, and it says 46, but there's no real help there. It doesn't really tell you exactly. So to make it a bit more easier, what I'll do is I'll just add another line here and say print the sum of two numbers is as below, because it will appear below. So I'm just going to do that to make it a bit easier to see. Click on run module again, don't have to click on OK, should be fine. Okay, and there you go, and please enter a number, so 12 and 13 this time, and you can see the number is low, which is 25, so it makes a bit more sense. And if I just go back onto here, I can just change that as well. So instead of I just say that's the sum of two numbers. Now if I wanted to do, let's say, the minus or subtract them, so just say result of subtraction of two numbers, so subtraction, sub being subtract. Okay, so do subtract, and I'll just do minus there. Okay, to make it easier, what I'll do is I'll use a different note over here that I'm changing the variable. Okay, so sum of two numbers is changed over there, and that's quite clear. And I'm just going to execute it again over here and click on run Python module. Okay, run a module, click on which says F5. You can click on F5 to make your life easier. Click on run 5, and what if I just type in the number 13, 14 for example, you can see the sum of the two numbers is below. The message is incorrect, so I'm just going to go back in there. Okay, and I'll just say the result of the two numbers being subtracted is as below. So if I just go to run and run module again, click on OK, and if I just enter number again, 13 and 14, okay, you can see it's come up with -1. Okay, I'm surprised, but it does work. The negative number does work. So what I'm going to do now is go back to my Python program, just to demonstrate again. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll get it to multiply in this case. So we'll just use the star sign. Okay, so that's there, number 2. So it's the multiply mult of two numbers. Okay, so result of two numbers being multiplied is below. So on here, multiplied is as below, and I'll just call this mult of two numbers. Okay, and I click on run Python shell, and that's not what I wanted to do. I'll just go back again. I'll click on run and run module. Click on OK. Please enter number 34, times it by 3, for example, and you can see it comes 102. Okay, and that's quite evident there. If I just go back now, I can just do divide. Okay, so I'll just put a forward slash. Okay, and I'll say div of two numbers. So div of two numbers. Okay, and div. I'll say div of two numbers. Okay, so that makes sense. Being divided. So I'll just change that as well because they're being divided. Divided. Okay, is as below. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll click on run and I'll click on Python shell like that. Okay, so I didn't want to click on Python shell, by the way, so just go back onto here, click on run module, and click on F5, click on OK, and therefore now I've typed a number like 50, for example, and then I would divide it by, I want 2 to be the divisor, so you can see 25 naught is the way to do it. Okay, you could expand the program. Okay, you can literally, if I wanted to copy this, Control V, like, and if I just wanted to do Control V, okay, saves me a lot of time programming. I can just do plus, okay, and I can just do sum of two numbers, okay, and the results of being added together, is below. Okay, and I'll just put sum of two numbers, so sum of two numbers. Okay, and that's that. I can just copy and paste this again, Control V, Control C, and then Control V, and then you've got that, and then you can see over here I've got my numbers quite clearly. So at the moment I've got divide, add, probably need to have maybe minus on here, so I can just put minus, the result of the two numbers being subtracted. Subtracted is as below. Okay, and then I just call it minus. Okay, so I just, you see here that the variable names are very important. I just Control C that, and I click on Control V, and then you just do multiple of two numbers. Okay, and then you do on here, you just do star. Okay, and then you do multiple of two numbers like so. Okay, and then if I just do two numbers being multiplied, multiplied is as well. So I've got that there. I click on run module. Okay, click on OK, and so enter a number like, let's say 34 and 3. Okay, and then you can see it's done all the calculations for you in an instant. Okay, and essentially that's how we do the calculations and use mathematical operators in a Python program.